And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for tonight's episode of DC Superman and Lois, Season 3, Episode 4. How can I put this? Pretty good episode, gotta say that. Obviously, spoiler alert. So, in the midst of the fact that Lois Lane continues to try to work while she's dealing with the fact that she's got cancer, it does tell us that Lois Lane is a very difficult person to pretty much take a break when it comes to certain things. But, and Superman and Clark, he's trying to do his best. He's trying to tell the boys, hey, listen, let your mom relax, let her cool down, don't bother her for anything. Then Clark finds out later on that that's pretty much the one thing that she does not want in her life. She doesn't want, the boys to treat her, like she's sick, and then the fact that, don't bother her with their problems, because that would make her even more crazy. And I'm pretty sure in real life, people who actually have that, the C word, probably feel the same way. They just want to be treated like everybody else, just like normal as possible. Otherwise, it will really make people think that they actually do have that problem, even though they do, but they don't want to think about it. They want to think positive instead of negative. So Lois Lane's at that point where she doesn't want to be treated differently. She wants to be treated as normal as possible. But the problem is with Lois Lane, normal is very difficult for her because she likes to get into danger, jump into action as much as she can, and Superman just got to stand behind her and hope for the best. While that's happening, you have Jordan, he's having some arguments with his grandfather about cutting his hair. Typical teenage stuff, obviously, because he's out there doing his thing as well, trying to help his dad. And there was a moment in the episode where they put out a fire, so I thought that was pretty cool stuff. Visually, it looked pretty cool. Hammer, John, he's dealing with his own problems. Apparently, Lois went to go talk to the sister of his doppelganger, which is the lady who almost jumped off and committed suicide. The previous, episode when Lois revealed she had cancer. And he went to go visit her, try to, talk to her about certain things, about why was her brother involved with Mannheim, because apparently Mannheim and her brother were working together, making technology. In the comics and the cartoons, Mannheim, he does run in the gang. He does get his technology sometimes from, he steals it. And then sometimes he did work with Darkseid at one point. So I don't think we're going to get Darkseid, but it is cool that maybe he got his technology from the John of that Earth. But it is interesting to see that. We do get to see a moment when John kind of got threatened by Mannheim. By like, hey man, I know who you are. I know you were in that suit hanging out with Superman. He showed the sister of, his doppelganger strapped to a bomb. So that was pretty intense to see. We got to see Jonathan's girlfriend's father throw a punch at him, at Jonathan. So there was that. They told Lois. Lois flipped out like a typical mother would. She went over there to talk to the hillbilly, and, he pulls out his gun. And then, of course, what does Clark do? He finds out that the gun got pulled towards Lois, even though Lois Lane can't handle herself. And Jordan was there too, but, doesn't want to expose the secret. So Superman goes there, or Clark goes to the diner to try to talk to the guy. The guy tries to fight him and doesn't go in his favor. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of what Superman 2 was. If anybody remembers that, when Christopher Reeves lost his powers, he got into a diner fight with some trucker, came back when he got his powers back, beat the bananas out of him. So it kind of reminded me of that. He didn't beat him up. He just pretty much, grabbed him by the neck and throw him down as humanly possible. So not to expose himself, especially the fact that Lana was trying to reconcile with her daughter after the slap from last week's episode with her father or her husband, her ex-husband's there as well. Everybody was watching. So Clark was being Clarkish, strength of a human, not Superman strength. But being intimidating nonetheless. So I thought that stuff was pretty funny. Overall, this was a good episode. Like I said, it proves that Lois Lane once again is very stubborn. We all know her, how she is, and she's never gonna stop doing what she loves doing. She loves being a busy reporter. She loves being with the family, and she just wants to be treated like everybody else. And they're gonna have to accept it. I do have some cool theories, though. I feel like John is going to eventually become Steel, because in the comics he is Steel. Or maybe they'll give it to Jonathan at this point. I feel like Jonathan needs to step up his game. And I really like the new actor who's playing him now. I think he fits the role better. I'm just waiting to see if they're going to introduce Steel with the Steel outfit. I mean, he's got the suit now, but I'm talking about like with the S on his chest, the red cape. Maybe the red cape might not happen. He's got the hammer, so I feel like they should give it to him or give it to Jonathan so that way he can do something. Because, with Jordan having powers, Superman being Superman, Lois being Lois, what exactly is Jonathan really doing in this show? You know what I mean? But, he's a cool character. I like him too. But it's just like, he's going to be in a situation where he's going to need help. And Jordan and Superman are not going to be there in time. Or even Lois. And he's going to have to defend himself. Either give him powers or let him be the new Steel. It'll be out of the comic book, but I think something like that would be kind of cool. Or Steel Jr. or make up a superhero thing for him to do. I know having every character be superheroes in these shows is gonna kind of be ridiculous, but especially it's different here. Especially when you have your father Superman, your brother is kind of like Superman as well, and your mother's Lois Lane, and you don't have powers. It's kind of like you stick out like a sore thumb. So it's like, what can you do? But overall, cool episode. Proves once again, like I said before, Lois Lane's the best. She's never going to take no for an answer. She's never going to let anything stop her, including cancer. So we just got to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And I really am enjoying the season so far. I don't know what Mannheim is up to. I feel like he's working with those people who took Superman's blood. Or maybe Mannheim took it for them. But overall, we just gotta wait to see what happens. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode, because I thought it was a pretty cool episode tonight, and I can't wait to see next week's episodes. So leave me a comment below. Let me know. Thank you very much, and have a good night.